At just 26 years old, Stephanie is 10 years younger than the average woman undergoing IVF. She's perfectly healthy, but single, and is not prepared to wait for Mr. Right to start a family. She publicly announced her decision on Instagram and has received some backlash.
How do people react when you tell them that you're doing this?
There was a lot of, are you crazy, because I'm so young? And then I guess from some friends' parents, older people in the community, they thought that I was doing the wrong thing and that that's not how life goes. You get married and then you have kids, and I try to explain to them that's not the 19th century anymore, we're in 2017.
Because I can't help but think that you are so young.
So young.
Do you ever at any point think, oh, maybe I should just give dating a go for a few years and see what happens a few years down the track?
Yeah, so I have done the dating scene a little bit. Obviously the relationships didn't work out, and then so many people are like, you're so young, you could just go to a pub and date someone or find someone, have a one-night stand. But for my own dignity and for the dignity of my child, I've chosen to do it the right way and know who the father is biologically.
Because there'd be a lot of women your age who'd be focusing on their careers or focusing on their social lives or focusing on travelling or whatever it is. You're focusing on becoming a mother. Why?
When I was younger, I was in the child safety system. I did have a mum and dad. They split when I was really young, and then I went to live with my mum because my dad was in the army, so he worked overseas a lot. My mum didn't make very good choices. She dated abusive guys, so that kind of set the foundation up for me that guys are not safe and it's not okay to trust them. And then I found myself with my twin sister in the child safety system. There was always a void of love, and I knew that I never wanted any other child to go through that, and I just knew that I had to have a kid to fill the missing puzzle piece. So I'm doing it.
When did you actually start the process?
When I was 25. So I went to a doctor who looked at me and thought I was crazy and was never going to write me the referral because I was so young.
So you had doctors telling you you're too young?
Yeah, there was so much time for me to wait, and I don't know what was going to happen in the future. I just need to think about it a lot more, and I had already thought about it, so I didn't need some professional telling me I need to think about something I'd already thought about.
How do you pay for all of this? Because I can't imagine IVF would be cheap.
Well, I'd been thinking about this for a really long time, so I kind of had savings, knowing what I was going into.
So you were sort of saving for this?
Yeah, I made the decision when I was about 20, 21. My twin sister was really sick, and she almost passed away, so that meant a lot to me, knowing that I needed to start a family. I didn't tell people until I was 25 that this is the journey that I was going on, but at least I had the savings to be able to do it.
Because your twin sister's got a baby as well?
Yeah, so my twin sister has my niece Eva, who is 2.5, and she was kind of like a miracle baby. And the amount of joy that Eva has brought to Ash, and she's a single mum, I know that this baby will be so loved when it comes into the world.
What do you say to those who say that you're depriving your child of having a relationship with a father?
Well, first of all, I question them, am I really depriving them? There's so many people in the universe who have mum and dad split a couple of years after the baby's born, it goes sour, and then those children also don't have either a mum or a dad, so I don't see it as being anything different.
Was there ever a moment where you doubted the decision?
All the time. IVF is the most emotional, physical roller coaster I've ever been on. There are many lows, there's not very many highs in the process. You're constantly being poked by needles and being told that it didn't work, and disappointment, and it was really hard. And I remember lying in hospital when I had OHSS, and I was like, I'm done, I'm not doing this, I'm 26, I'll be fine, I'll find somebody. And then once I got over that, and once you pick yourself up from the miscarriage and you pick yourself up from the heartache, and after you have the injection and you do it, you just find the strength to know that you can keep going, and this is really what you want, you'll overcome it. And
after all that, you've got some news.
I do. So I found out on Monday that I am expecting my first child.
Wow!
It is very early, and I do know that miscarriage is high before 12 weeks, but I feel like I've been so open with my IVF journey, and if I do miscarry, the baby was still mine, it was still still inside me, it was still growing, so it was still my child. So whatever happens will happen, but hopefully it sticks.
Well, that's incredibly exciting, and I wish you the best, and thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
chatting
much.
to us. You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome.